He's wearing a hoodie today because A, it's a Friday, and B, we're going more casual these days at NFL Network. You see him on the Insiders. You'll see him likely wearing a coat and tie on Sunday on NFL Game Day morning. It's actually NFL Game Day kickoff this week because Rich is doing the game in London. Regardless, you don't care what the shows are called. Hi there, Tom Pelissero. How are you?
I'm great, Andrew. The wardrobe has been a very interesting debate/development in recent months at NFL Network. We've got no ties on Total Access now. We still are in ties as newsmen on Good Morning Football.
It makes no sense.
The cast is closer to this style of wardrobe. So I made it like my promise to myself. Hoodies on casual Fridays only. Every other day, it's a little bit above that. And I let Rappaport drag it down by constantly wearing short sleeve Henley t-shirts.
Yeah, Ian, yesterday, maybe it was 2 days ago. I'm losing track of days. This week has gone quickly. Ian had a shirt on. It was like lime green. It looked as if he pulled it out of the bottom of his laundry basket, his hamper. It looked like he had slept in it, and he could not care less. And this was
we were talking about it on the show, and the company that made that shirt sent him like 10 more. That is a real story. That's basically, if you want to sum up Rappaport's existence, it's basically he's an influencer who dabbles in TV news at this point.
I would put it another way. I would say he's an insider who goes on television and grovels. There's a difference.
Some groveling, no question.
He grovels. All right, let's get to the trade. You had a trade this morning. You broke the news, you and Ian, that Chase Claypool has exited Hallis Hall. Finally, he's traded for the second time in less than a year, and the Bears basically gave him away for a Cam Akers-like ham sandwich.
That seems to be the going rate on a lot of these trades right now, which is if you've got a player who's making even a little bit of money, because Claypool's not making a ton, and for one reason or another, culture or otherwise, you need to move on from the player. That late round pick swap seems to be, the new form of compensation involving future picks, not even in 2024. So, for the Dolphins, they obviously love to have as much speed, as many weapons as they can have at the wide receiver position. It's a flyer. It doesn't cost you much in terms of trade comp or the salary. And for the Bears, it just, there were concerns about just the maturity with Chase Claypool. Obviously, he had said some things that didn't really land well. He hadn't really fit in. And I think that, you look at the Bears offense and the 2 games they've played without Chase Claypool, they've been substantially better. I don't think that you can trace that solely to one player's absence, but they feel like they're in a better position. And for the Dolphins, they're getting a player who, less than 1 year ago, but 11 months ago, the Bears gave up the number 32 overall pick, what ended up being the number 32 overall pick, to go and get him. You're thinking it's all upside here, and if it doesn't work out, you're the next team to move on.
You can write this one off, and I would, as one of the worst trades. The Bears trade with the Steelers in recent memory, and I know there's this. We had reported that the Packers had gotten in on that, and the Packers kind of drove the price up because they wanted to get another weapon for Aaron Rodgers down the stretch, but giving up what turns out to be, in essence, a first-round pick on a 4-year contract. Bad trade for the Bears. Let's talk about the game last night. I think coming in, Tom, there are a lot of people, and I tried to poo-poo it. The Bears have never fired a coach in season. There's no obvious replacement on that staff there that said this might be the end of Matt Eberflus. Again, I didn't see it. Now when we see Magic Johnson, and we can laugh because Magic's had some silly tweets over the years, but he is ownership, right? 4% ownership, which is more than you and me, tweeting about lack of effort, which was obvious to anyone watching the game. I mean, this is a team that could have, would have come in at 3-1. The Commanders, if they had only gone for 2 and gotten to 2 in Philadelphia and beaten the undefeated Eagles. I mean, what do we make of the situation in Washington with new ownership and a team that so badly underperformed on a national stage on a big game last night?
Well, the Magic Johnson piece, you alluded to it, Andrew. Magic's known for expressing opinions along the way. This is just in a unique spot now where he's not in the NBA anymore. He's not the president or whatever he was of the Lakers. He's now a minority owner with the Commanders, and he's speaking out in a way that I don't think we've ever seen a minority owner do about any team in the NFL. So, you take that on one hand. It obviously was not a good performance at all by the Commanders in that game. They'd also been a team that we looked at over the previous couple of weeks and said, boy, there's something here. Obviously, Sam Howell had the bad game where he threw the 4 picks, but other than that, they'd look competent, they'd look better on offense. And last night, it was just kind of this disjointed mess. They had opportunities. Howell throws that ball a little bit outside the arms of De'Ami Brown down the seam. Maybe that's a play that kind of flips the whole thing. But to the Bears' credit, I mean, everybody, kind of buried him. I don't believe, Andrew, based on what I know, I don't believe that Matt Eberflus would have been out with a loss last night anyway. We're still 5 games into the season at this point. You never want to lose 15 in a row. And thankfully for the Bears, they did not, and they got a significant win. But they felt internally like they were not that far off. And they felt that way even before Justin Fields made the comments about being robotic that caused a firestorm because people decided to reduce that to a one-word tweet about coaching. And, they continue to build toward that. But when you have that going on, you have the Alan Williams situation going on where your defensive coordinator just one day isn't there anymore. And then you have the Chase Claypool thing that was playing out as well. You had a lot of different parts here where it's hard, man. These are not, they're not machines on the field. These are human beings. And the emotional weight of a lot of that stuff was not really productive. But you saw flashes of it in the Broncos game before that one got away from. And then last night you saw, DJ Moore stepped up in a massive way. Khalil Herbert certainly had good moments in that game. And then Justin Fields, he's playing like we've seen the flashes from with Justin Fields. And this is going to be one of the complicated evaluations for the Bears to make going forward here, which is that Justin Fields can do that. He can flash that way. But can he do it consistently enough? Or are you going to get the really good Justin Fields games and the not really good Justin Fields games? That's all part of what they have to look at going forward. But I think you have to credit, everybody from Matt Eberflus to Luke Getsy to Andrew Janocko, all the coaches who were implicated by those comments that, again, were taken somewhat out of context from Justin Fields. They've continued working, and on a short week, going on the road, quick turnaround, they went and absolutely kicked the holy hell out of a Commanders team that had been flying high going into that game.
And in the fourth quarter, after Sam Howell and the Commanders had come out in the second half and made some plays and made it interesting, unlike last week, Justin Fields and the Bears made plays offensively and put that game away, and they go into the mini bye now feeling good getting their first win. Is Jonathan Taylor going to play on Sunday, Tom?
You look at the injury report and you read Jonathan Taylor's words, there's no reason right now, Andrew, to think he won't play this week for the Colts. Now, he was not exactly effusive in his statements about the organization when he spoke to reporters for the first time in months. He was asked, does he want to be a Colt? And he said, well, I am one right now, something along those lines. It's obvious that he's not pleased with how everything has played out here. But the reality is, he was coming off an ankle injury. I think that's one of the things we talked about a bunch of times, Andrew, on this show with Rich and the boys in studio. What's up, boys? Sorry, I forgot to say that. Right.
What up, Tom? What's up, brother? Thank you for the shout out.
I hope you're enjoying your plant-based energy that I sent you out there. But yeah, it's a unique type of a situation overall. I would just say that.
Do you think if he plays Sunday, it is still building towards the possibility of a trade? In other words, is this kind of a show and tell that he is healthy? Do you think they would still move him if they could?
Right. And that's what I was getting at was, I think there was this conspiracy theory that it was all a hold in and the ankle was fine. He left the team in the middle of August to leave the state and go get treatment on the ankle. You don't do that if it's part of a hold in. Yeah, he's been frustrated. Yes, he requested a trade. All those things really happen. He still wants a new contract. But at some point, going out there and showing everyone that you're 100% healthy, whether that raises your value to the Colts, whether that raises your trade value with the league, there's a lot of reasons to think that playing football right now is a good option for Jonathan Taylor. Could they work something out in terms of a new contract in Indianapolis? I know there have been discussions about that. I don't know that anything is imminent on that front at this point. But for Jonathan Taylor, he's got to play football. Remind people he's the 2021 NFL rushing champ. And then we've still got, Andrew, 3-4 weeks until the trade deadline here. Who knows what direction it goes? The Colts have been always consistent. They would like to pay Jonathan Taylor. They just don't want to pay him right now. And that's been one of the discrepancies throughout this entire process.
Two quick quarterback ones here before I let you go. Desmond Ridder somehow did not get benched in London last week at halftime, but Taylor Heineke is waiting in the wings. How short is the leash there for him?
It's a good question, Andrew. I think that you have to have the frame of reference that 2 weeks ago when the Falcons were 2-0, Arthur Smith was saying this guy embodies everything about what we want a Falcon to be, just in terms of the toughness and leadership and everything else. So it's hard to swing from that type of this is our guy to, well, now we're going to kick you to the curb because we had a couple of rough performances here. That was obviously not the best we've seen of Desmond Ridder. There's a lot of things that they do like about Desmond Ridder. They also did pay Taylor Heineke a lot of money. So I don't know that it's if he throws one pick in this game, he's getting yanked out type of a situation at this point. It certainly bears monitoring, but I would just say it's not strictly a Desmond Ridder issue. That offense in general just was not firing over these last couple of games here, and let's see if they can do that this week.
What about New England? Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi. I can't believe I'm asking this, but Mac Jones and matter of fact, both of these offenses this week in that game, the Patriots and the Saints have been awful. But forget about the Saints. Any chance Bailey Zappi is keeping the shoulder warm?
There's always a chance, Andrew, but I would also remind you that they cut Bailey Zappi a month ago, and he cleared waivers.
But
and then there was
wasn't that Belichick like just procedural chess when everyone else was playing deadline checkers?
He started games last year and won games. I thought it was a coin flip. Was he going to get claimed? You wouldn't do that if you're thinking we might get 4 games into the season and bench one guy for the other. It's always a different deal in New England because Belichick went through the entire offseason and never actually named Mac Jones the starter.
That's
literally the only confirmation we had the entire time was, hey, Bailey Zappi got cut. I guess Mac's the starter now. So there was never that kind of, Cam Newton's our quarterback. We're on to Cincinnati. Hold on. I got to answer this. This might be a trade. Hold on. We'll do this. All right.
Okay. Live on the air.
Ooh,
go ahead.
This is awesome.
Hey.
Tom Pelissero working the trade
Hold on,
phone.
man.
Hold on.
Oh. We're going to have to mute his microphone?
Okay.
This is how the sausage is made.
Perfect. Oh, you there? Yeah, now I got you. Sausage for a second.
Bad sell. Who dis? NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero.
Okay. Perfect. Yep.
Nope. Mm-hmm. Got it. Don't give it to Ian.
Yep.
Don't give it to Ian.
Okay.
Not Ian.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it. All right, man. See you.
Okay.
All right. Not just yet.
No trade.
Damn. Man.
Damn.
That was cinema right there, guys.
Okay.
That was cinema.
Wow. Can you give us a hint,
We
Tom?
need it. We want it.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Can Tom Brady start this week for the Pats?
Yeah. Did you hear, Chris? Can Tom Brady play this week for the Patriots?
No, I heard it.
Yeah.
That would not be a trade. Tom Brady's a free agent.
Tom Brady is a free agent.
Ooh,
and
yes.
he is not,
What a
he is
Patriots fan thinks Tom Brady's currently on the roster. Come on.
not yet owner of the Raiders either, or a owner.
Tom Pelissero
And
says there's
owner.
a chance.
the
That'll be an interesting one. I don't know that it's. I've had people in the league say they don't know that that's ever going to get pushed through for multiple different reasons. So it may or may not. The next league meeting's in a week and a half here. I don't know that it's going to get a vote then. The next meeting after that would be in December. So Tom Brady, quite possibly, for a good chunk of the season, if he were to decide to come back, would be eligible to do so.
Hey, as we let you go, I was listening to Tom, as I often do on Monday on my way to work, on the Jim Gray and Larry Fitzgerald thing on Monday night on Westwood, on Sirius, whatever it's on now. And he works blue now. I don't know if you've heard that. Tom willing to add colorful F-bombs in the broadcast there with Jim Gray. It's satellite radio. He doesn't care. He's working blue. He's lost 10 pounds, and he's unloading on people.
What?
Yeah. You should check it out.
Looks like he's lost more than 10 pounds. At that Patriots ceremony, he looked gaunt.
He looked gaunt. Yes, that is a good way to describe it. A polite way.
If gaunt is good, I want to look like that.
To describe it. Or like when you come home and your mom always goes, "You've lost weight." Well, it's better than saying you haven't lost weight. So there. Tom Pelissero on the Insiders wearing a hoodie, and then on game day morning coming up on Sunday wearing a tie. We will
Game day kickoff. Come on.
Game day kickoff. I'm sorry. It is game day kickoff. It is 7 a.m. Eastern time ahead of the game. An NFL Network exclusive and on NFL Plus as well. Plus.nfl.com, plus.nfl.com. Coming up on Sunday. See you then, Tom. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.